folks, welcome back to another wholesome episode of Whining About Pest Control. If you're just joining us, I am your host, Shelby Hartzer of 360 Pest Consulting. And I've whined about our fall invaders before, but now is the time of the year where our annual wasps are abundant outside. Today I'm whining about those wasps and the problems that they're causing. I'm drinking a rosé because this isn't a full heavy episode for a red, but it's not a nice light episode either, so we've got it right in the middle. Cheers. Not sure about this one. To back up a sec, I'm talking about the social wasps that start colonies early in the year and then die out at the end of the season. So we have yellow jackets, bald-faced hornets, paper wasps, otherwise known as umbrella wasps, and European hornets, to name a couple. We often talk about wasps in the spring because we want to control them before those colonies get large and there's lots of stinging adults out. But now we are in the fall, and those colonies that didn't get discovered early and taken out, well, they're now full of hundreds of stinging individuals. We're going to jump right into whining about control here. Obviously, we have plenty of products that are labeled for use. We have liquids, dust, aerosols, and some rather creative options found on social media. To be perfectly honest, my preference is almost always aerosols. Liquids are okay, especially if you have a nest that's in the ground or just at ground level. But using a liquid means getting fairly close and dousing that nest quickly so they don't come swarming out in an angry mob finding you as their first victim. Our typical sprayers are designed to put out a much smaller amount of liquid, so you decide. I like to use dust as a follow-up. Dusts take time, they're not immediate, and you can't realistically apply a dust to an aerial nest. Once you knock down that colony, come back later and dust it, and this way any of those residual flying adults that didn't get hit with the first round now get some of that dust. This brings up a really good point. Treat early in the day or into the evening. I know it's not always possible, but try. Two reasons for this. The first, they're pretty sleepy. They haven't gotten up to go out and forage for their colony yet. That means it's going to take them longer to get fully pissed off and come at you. And that means you have more time to get that pesticide to them. Second, it means pretty much all of them are at the nest. Hitting them during the day means many of those individuals are out there and they're foraging. They're going to come back and find their home destroyed, and then they're going to fly around angrily and people are more likely to come in contact with them, and you're going to get the call back because you didn't take care of the problem. Speaking of stinging, wasps are much more likely to sting late in the season. Why? Because they like their fermented fruit just like I do. End of the season, they don't have to forage for the colony, they're just out there feeding themselves. And all the fallen fruits, that's now starting to decompose, and those sugars are starting to ferment. Like any tipsy individual, they get a little belligerent when they bump into people and they can lash out. In the fall, people are out there more. They're enjoying their adult beverage, which wasps are also attracted to, and they will imbibe in. Circling back to aerosols, wasp sprays tend to be really effective and really fast. Colonies can be exterminated quickly before they can start stinging. The key with aerosols is to get close enough, but not too close. These cans have this thing on them called a label. That label tells you how far the spray is going to go. Get within that range, and remember, if you are directing it up, that lessens that distance. You've got to get closer. It's also really helpful at this point in the season to have more than one can available. Ensure that you get those bigger nests in just one visit. Be safe out there, folks. Wear your PPE, apply those pesticides correctly, and remember wasp behavior so you and your customers don't get hurt. You won't get stung if you whine to me about your wasp issues. I've got plenty more info to help you out. So grab a glass, don't share it with any of the wasps, and whine to me about those stinging insect challenges. I can help. Hit all the buttons down below, share with all your colony, and cheers to those wholesome wasps.